Hello everyone, my name is Inaya and this is Affirmations for the Soul, and today for a topic we're going to be discussing alignment. So for the first point today, we're going to be discussing self-reflection and realization. So this year I've learned so much just in terms of how to grow and become a better person. It's been a long time coming. Good things come with time, as they say, right? So this year I've had a very pivotal experience in my life where I've had to let go of certain relationships and connections that I thought were benefiting me, but in reality, it was a detriment to my character and it was a detriment to my future. So with that being said, most of the time people forget this step because they feel that to get to the end goal of finding success and finding happiness is to jump to whatever is seen as beneficial and always good, and things that always look great, and things that always seem to be in the up and up. But in reality, we have to understand too, with the hardships we experience, how we can evolve. And the key to evolving is self-reflection and realization. So this year I've realized that I've definitely been more aligned spiritually, because sometimes I get these feelings, I call it my intuition, and that is where I can hear in my heart when I need to discern, and I need to know when I'm in the right place or when I need to exit a space as well. So with self-reflection, I say a big part of that what came from this past year and the year before, where I've allowed to be treated with disrespect. And also in other ways, my behavior wasn't reflecting on how I really identify myself. So with that being said, just to give a little bit of a description, there was someone in my life where this person always would find ways essentially to counteract a compliment with disrespect, essentially. Whether it would be a backhanded joke or, just mocking me in some kind of way. I felt at that point that it was a joke because, when we're so conditioned to believe when everyone does something we think is okay. But in reality, I felt in that moment that he was diminishing my character. So in that moment, I told myself, hey, how am I feeling after I hear this? Is this making me feel upset? And I've brought this to this person's attention many times. And I feel that there were many moments where my feelings were disregarded, or I was overreacting, or I was too emotional. Then I came to realize it was a reflection of that person not holding themselves accountable and deflecting how they feel back to me. When I learned to understand that, it took time. I kept going back and I kept believing to myself that this was the right way when it really wasn't. I felt like things maybe could improve, we would grow together, but the reality is I can't grow when someone chooses to be complacent. This point of the topic is that with the self-reflection and realization, we become more aware. We build essentially new eyes of vision to see things that most people do not see, which is just understanding that even though everything appears to be okay, sometimes it's okay to look within and understand that, okay, there's something that I need to figure out in my life to feel better and be better. And that way in the future, I won't make the same mistakes that I've made in the past. And even the mistakes that I make in the future, I can step back and understand that, okay, there's a different way of this being done. The second point for today is healing and growth. Now, this is a huge step in alignment. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people, like I mentioned before, choose to be complacent. They choose complacency as a place of comfort rather than seeking true comfort, which is within understanding oneself and being okay with one's skin. Now, what I mean by that is that I've noticed that the most healing that I've received was when I spent time with myself and I practiced solitude, which means just really spending time in positive isolation. I believe that isolation doesn't have to be a negative, but it can be turned into solitude when you notice that you are in a space where you feel safe. Healing is very unique because it doesn't start off with cupcakes and rainbows, and it doesn't look pretty. There's a lot of tears. There's a lot of venting. There's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of sadness. But then along those sides, you see a brighter day. You see that things are working out for you as long as you keep faith. Faith is the most important part of healing. When you have faith that you know there's going to be a better way out of this, when you have faith in yourself that you're going to grow as an individual and that there is more to life for you and that your blessings will show, that's when you truly know that you're healing. And I've understood that there's still things that happen to me that are not so great, and some of them are out of my control. But I will say, as long as I keep my faith and I continue to believe in my faith, then everything will work itself out. And last but not least is transformation. Now, what is defined as transformation? A lot of people think transformation is similar to a glow up. I believe it's so. I believe glow up and transformation are under the same umbrella because really to glow up is not just external, it's also inside. So when we are feeding our mind with positive things, like for me, I very much value spending time reading, praying, just getting my daily activity. Many other things, to fill my time, like coloring. I really like brain games. They're really fun for me. Sometimes even watching a little bit of my favorite shows every once in a while. And informative YouTube videos that help me have more clarity and to understand how to live a better life. I feel like those habits help me transform to be the best version of myself. And that's a big step after your healing and growth journey. Why? Because when you transform, you don't choose complacency anymore. You don't choose the same habits that you did before. You learn that to evolve, you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to understand that certain things aren't going to be in your control, but you have the power and you have the wisdom to say that, okay, there is something else for me out there, and I will do whatever it takes to seek that opportunity for myself. And you will know within your heart what is the right path to go. And I believe with transformation, that could be shown in many ways. Like for me, once I have realized my transformation, I felt better, I looked better, my space was better, my mind felt better. So when you think of all these things and you could look in the mirror and say that you like what you see, then you have truly transformed. That is my conclusion for the podcast today for Affirmations for the Soul. Thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, my name is Inaya, and I hope to tune in with you guys very soon. Thank you.